Norm Macdonald, my boy, the homie. Drop a like, man. Hit that like. How many of them things? 2 thou wow. We can do 2 thou wow and Norm Macdonald. Run this up, man. Jokes that'll make your jaw drop. I'm here for it. Let's get it.
But I looked on because I like learning on my Wikipedia, because I was wondering about fame, the nature of fame, because it's changed so much, you know? And when I was young, it was one thing, and now it's a whole different thing. And I was wondering how many people have been to the moon, like have actually walked on the moon. So I looked on my magic telephone, and I found out only 13 or 14 in the entire history of the world. You would think that would make you very, very famous. But no, the last guy who walked, now you'd think he would be famous for being the last guy to be on the moon. His name was Harrison Schmitt. Now, who ever heard of him? Meanwhile, he goes all the way to the moon, hangs around there for a while, and comes back. He's not famous, but a girl with a giant ass is famous. When I was young, a man...
Why is that so true? Who is Harrison Schmitt?
If we being honest, though, which one would you rather know?
Stop.
Because, I mean, I don't know what somebody going to the moon is doing for me until that information reaches me, but...
What's the girl with the big butt?
I'm going to look at the butt. You know what I'm saying?
What's she doing for you?
Huh?
Was she doing more things for you? Then Harrison Schmitt.
Yeah, because who's Harrison Schmitt? And nobody knows him. But we know the girl with the big butt. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's all I'm saying.
But a girl with a giant ass is famous. When I was young, a man who went to the moon was famous. And a lady with a giant ass, you'd go, can you stand over there? Because this is... I one time worked for Otis Elevator. I don't know if you know who they are. Who? Otis Elevator. I one time worked for Otis Elevator. I don't know if you know who they are. Who? Otis Elevators. They make elevators. Okay. It's a company. And they wanted me to come up with a slogan. I thought I had a great one. Otis Elevators, they never let you down. But when you're writing,
That's so stupid.
Yo!
That's stupid.
Man, that's a huge fear of mine, though, actually. I don't know if I ever told you that, but...
Being dropped in the elevator?
Yeah, like a cable stretch in the elevator. I'm not scared of elevators, but like, man, that has to be a horrible way to go.
You talking about you want a penthouse?
Yeah, that's different though, cause the new building, and they ain't gonna let that happen.
Okay.
It'd be them old buildings that, them buildings that were built a long time ago. Them be the ones, I like that, though.
when you're writing, you learn a lot of that. I went to a guy who was a big writer guy. He told me about things I didn't know about. Metaphors. You ever hear of them? He said, you got to use metaphors. I'm like, what's that? He's like, that's a thing. So a metaphor is like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? So he's like, that means you can take a person, and you can give him all the information and everything, but he still has to be the one to absorb it himself. So I was like, well, why the fuck didn't you just say that? Like, why do you have to put a horse into it? Like, what? You thought I was so stupid you need to make it into some fable? Like, what? A horse?
You're so good at stand-up, you've gotten to the point.
It sounds better when you have to, elaborate it a little differently.
Right, but man, that's kind of funny.
I was gonna use the horse though.
It's like what I be saying with the Southern folk when they always got like a.
Oh
it's
man,
like,
they are.
Yeah, they got
hilarious.
like a saying for everything.
Like a meat possum in us.
Yeah.
Like what?
That's a country mile. Like, what does that mean, bro? What is a country mile, bro? Okay.
A horse?
You're so good at stand-up, you've gotten to the point. You look for jokes
Yeah.
that have the same setup as the punchline. You
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I
Can you
do,
explain
yeah.
that?
I remember one time, for instance, I was on a Weekend Update, and there was this guy died, Jerry Rubin, and he was a yippie.
Yes.
Not a hippie, but a yippie. I remember my dad going, "Who's that? A goddamn hippie or a yippie?" You know. And so anyways, the joke on a Weekend Update was, "Yippie! Jerry Rubin died last week." I'm sorry, yippie! Jerry Rubin died last week.
Wait.
Oh my God!
Was he doing it on purpose?
Yo,
or
wait.
that was an accident?
Yo, oh my God! Wait, hold on. I gotta run that whole thing back.
Hippie, but a yippie. I remember my dad going, "Who's that? A goddamn hippie or a yippie?" You know. And so anyways, the joke on a Weekend Update was, "Yippie! Jerry Rubin died last week." Oh, I'm sorry. That should read, "Yippie! Jerry Rubin died last week."
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I'm sorry.
That's what he's
My
saying,
mistake
though.
completely. Just I didn't read it right.
Nah, that's what he said. That's what Howard Stern is saying too. That's hilarious. Cause he said the setup and the punch of the joke is the same. Yo, nah, that's fire. Wow, that makes me want to watch him more now. Just to see that.
My mistake completely.
Putting
Just
that
I
to
didn't read
words
it
is-
right. I remember my dad's favorite joke.
Yeah.
He says he was from the farm, you know, and he says a guy comes from the city. City slicker comes and he buys a farm, and the farmer next door comes over to him and says, "Hey now, would you like to come over to my house tonight? We're going to have a big shindig for you because you know we're neighborly here." And the city guy said, "Well, this is something that's I really like, you know, that this is why I moved to the farm, to have things like this, you know." Guy says it'll be a hell of a big party, you know. He goes, "It'll be, you know, a little drinking, a little fighting, a little fucking, you know." And the city guy goes, "Well, that sounds good. What time should I be here?" And the farmer goes, "Anytime you like, just the two of us." So they would drink, then get in a fight, and fuck.
It's your dad's favorite
That was
joke.
my dad's favorite joke. And he also believed that this is a true story. When I was young, he told me that gay people showed up in the 50s.
They just showed up.
And the 1950s were the first gay people.
He believed that?
He actually did believe that. I guess because it's the first time that he encountered.
Is he not realizing what he's saying about Daddy Boy?
The way my boy looked was so funny. He said,
50s.
They just showed up.
And the 1950s were the first gay people.
He believed that?
He actually did believe that. I guess because it's the first time that he encountered one or something. Because I went to this gay pride parade, and I saw in it there were these old men and old ladies like with these signs that said, "We are proud of our gay son," you know? And so I was saying, that's an odd thing to be proud of, you know, because it's not an achievement, you know? It's not like something you work all your life to be gay or anything like that. And I just wondered, I had a hard time believing that these 50, 60-year-old men are actually bragging, you know, at work like they're, "Hey, Bill, you know, my kid, oh my God, we're proud of him, Johnny. He graduated from Harvard, you know, first in his class, you know what I mean? Now he's articling over at a law firm, and, oh yeah, he loves cock." You know? This kid.
slide that in there.
Do you think this would be funny, just as a practical joke, if you just wrote a suicide note and just blamed some random guy? Do you think that would be...
That's fucked up. That's so fucked
Oh
up.
my God. Oh
You know,
my
like your
God.
barber or something like that, you know?
I'm dead.
You go, "It was all Ralph Abernathy's fault."
Yo.
Because you know the police would be compelled to go to Abernathy's barbershop. And go, "Have you ever heard of a fella named Norm Macdonald?" I go, "Yeah, he come in every couple of months for a trim." "Oh, okay. Well, anyways, he took his life because of you." Wrote it here in this letter. Would you like to keep the...
Would you like to keep the stupid? Would you?
Oh my God.
That's so foul.
Yo, just imagine just having no, especially just somebody you don't even know.
I
He
know.
said somebody like he cut his hair, but boy, just imagine. That's comedy.
And then Ralph Abernathy would have to spend the rest of his life walking down.
Why you gotta look like...
According to an obscure 14th century law, British Army Captain James Hewitt could be hanged for having an affair with Princess Diana. The punishment for having sex with Princess Diana is death. The punishment for having sex with Princess Anne is having sex with Princess Anne.
Why? Oh.
Cooked.
You know what else I like about the magic phone? Wikipedia. Oh, you ever use that? That's the best, man. It makes a democracy out of smartness. Everybody's equal now. You know, used to be a guy would go to school 5, 6 years, and then he'd talk to me, and I'd be like, ah. But now it's all different. I got my magic phone in my pocket. Right. So a guy will say to me, he'll go, hey, Norm, you ever hear of a fella that went by the name of Claude Monet? And I go, why, of course I have. I got to go to the bathroom. And I'm in there 20, 25 minutes, and I come back. I go, hey, listen, we were talking about Claude Monet, and I just want to say that, you know what I liked about him was his paintings. I liked the way he painted. He was a painter, and I loved how he used the paint to make paintings. And the guy goes, God damn, Norm, I've never been able to stump you in 2 years. I know.
In what is considered a remarkably short period of time, the head of the Federal Advisory Board, Dr. Peter Mellman, has given speedy approval to a controversial new anti-obesity drug. It should be noted, however, Dr. Mellman's wife is a fat pig.
I know you're from Canada.
Yes, yes.
And do you get
rural
back...
Canada, deep rural Canada.
And do you get back there much and see the old gang, the old chums?
God, yeah. You know, I grew up, we didn't know the things that you do in the city.
City folks,
I
yes.
remember when my dad, when I was young, he took me to the first time we ever went to the city. And we saw an elevator, and by God, my dad didn't know what it was, and I didn't know what it was.
Oh, that's
And we
crazy.
see the doors, it was just magic doors to us. That's what my dad called it. The doors open, and a big, fat, old, ugly woman in a wheelchair got in. And then the doors closed. And then the doors open again, and a beautiful blonde walks out. And my dad says, quick, go get your mother. Now, that guy was listen, he was a dirty dog, but he was a good man.
When people commit suicide, no one ever understands. You know what I mean? People commit suicide, people go, I don't understand why. And I go, you don't? Where, you live in a cotton candy house or something? What the fuck? You don't know about life?
Right.
How it only disappoints and gets worse and worse until it ends in a catastrophe? What the fuck? There's 2 reasons guys will hang themselves from the neck. One is, like we said...
He said hang them from the neck, like opposed to what? Like what else? From the ear, yeah.
The foot.
Hanging from the foot.
Drain
He
you.
specified
If you
the
hang
neck.
upside down, can't you pass out and die from that or something?
You said what?
If you're hanging upside down long enough.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you die, but you definitely all the blood rushes to your brain.
Just sitting there.
Like woo.
Guys will hang themselves from the neck. One is, like we said, to escape this worthless masquerade of a life we pretend we have. And the second reason we hang ourselves from the neck is to whack off. These guys, I don't understand. It's called autoerotic asphyxiation. It's a big fancy word, but it's a filthy thing.
It's a filthy thing.
This is my problem with it. The risk reward is not good.
This fool.
Nah, that is hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Drop a like, Norm Macdonald. Hey man, run that up, please, because that was actually a really good video.
Yeah, that was funny.
We back into it. Let's get it.
Bye.